Playoff football coming your way here from Ranger Stadium on the Rangers Network. Smithson Valley playing at home with this bi-district opener as they host the Madison Mavericks. On the Rangers Network, Brant Freeman alongside Tony Brubaker. An 8-2 finish to the regular season for Smithson Valley. A second place finish at a very tough 27-6A district. Facing Madison for the second time this season. These two hooked up in non-district play 2 months ago. A 28-0 Ranger win. But Tony, of course, this is now a brand new season. And Smithson Valley looking to advance beyond round one for the second year in a row.
And they should be able to, except for we know Madison has greatly improved by just looking at their scores the last couple of weeks. But we also know the Rangers are improved, so we expect a very good football game.
Again, Smithson Valley coming off a tough loss against Steele last week to end the regular season, but now ready for the playoffs for more. On tonight's game earlier this week, we had the chance to catch up with Smithson Valley head coach Larry Hill. Back in the early to mid 2000s, some memorable battles between the Rangers and the Mavericks. A one-pointer in 2002, a Ranger rout in 05, and an overtime game in 07. You won two of those, Coach. What do you recall about those games?
Well, they were big ball games, as you said. 02, we've never played them before. We actually came out of different leagues to play in the regional finals. That was our first year in the top classification, what is now 6A. And you know, I remember they ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown, and we battled back, and then we were holding on, made a big throw and catch right there at the end to keep the ball and win that one. And 05, you mentioned, we had played earlier in the year and won in a district game, but in the quarterfinals, in the regional finals, we played extremely well up there. And it was a day game at Blossom, and we won big. And then 07 in the Dome, we had a big lead, and they made a furious rally, and you know, they got us right there in overtime. And so, you know, they're always those type of games, and this week is likely to be no different.
So again, those were all in the region finals. This is in the opening round, the bi-district round coming up. Here at Ranger Stadium, let's start there. Coach, the opportunity to play at home in the playoffs doesn't come around very often. Right. This will be your 7th home game of the season as well. So
yeah.
How does it feel to be able to play such a game of this magnitude at home?
Well, we enjoy playing at home, and you know, you don't always flip home and home. You know, with the new rules, or the newer rules, where the high seed gets the home game in the first round, that's relatively new regulation. So that's why the game is here. You know, so obviously you prefer that as opposed to going to their place. But in the end, I mean, somebody's going to put the foot to the ball at 7 o'clock, and it's just a game. But we always like playing in front of our home fans.
And so again, one of those 7 home games was against Madison, a 28-0 win for you early in the season. It may as well have been 10 years ago, let alone 10 weeks ago. But as you look back at that game, what stood out? What do you recall about it? And do you feel as if, how much of that game do you feel will apply to the game this Friday?
Well, I mean, it'll apply in the sense of, you know, we have some idea of what they do against our defense and our offense. Of course, that works both ways. They've got an idea of it as well. So, you know, some of the names and faces have changed for both teams, you know, with injuries or lineup changes or shuffling the deck a little bit. So, you know, I'm not sure that either team looks exactly like they did week 2. They've played 8 games since, but you know, it does give you a little bit of an idea of what they may. Sometimes you look at tape against them playing another team. Well, how does that really match up to our defense? Or how does that really match up to our offense? So I think you'll have 2 teams that are very familiar with each other this Friday night. It won't be a whole lot of secrets, and we're just going to have to play and see who plays better.
In that game, again, you shut out the Mavericks, held them to under 70 yards of offense that game. But offensively, look at the way they've played in the regular season. And we keep hyping up your district. They've played a pretty tough one as well. Teams like Johnson and Reagan and Clark. And they won their final 3 games of the regular season to punch their ticket. And in the last 2 games, scored 52 and 49 points. But it would argue be tough to shut out an offense like that again. So offensively, what are you expecting this time around?
Well, they're pretty balanced between the run and the throw. You know, they've got a couple of running backs that are capable and have shown the ability to score from anywhere. Several receivers, one in particular that they move around and look for ways to get him the football. And he can catch a short one and run the distance, or he can run by you. And they've really found their footing. They're scoring a lot of points, as you mentioned, and the big win over Brandeis in overtime, I guess 2-3 weeks ago, was really the one that put them over the top. So they come in hot, and we know we'll have our hands full.
Defensively, you look back at that game and you hit a couple of big plays in that game, but you really had to work for your other 2 touchdowns in that one. I felt like it was a field position battle that you won. Offensively, what do you feel as if you can do against their defense? Well,
it'd be hard, to know that ahead of time. They're very sound against the run. They move the guys around a little bit, multiple alignments. Big and strong up front, hard to run right at. Their secondary plays extremely well. We scored really on a couple of jump balls that night, a couple of double moves where our guys just went up and took a ball that we really weren't wide open on. And then you mentioned a couple other drives where we had good field position created by defense and special teams. So I think it's going to be that kind of formula again. We're going to have to get some short fields for our offense, through some 3 and outs and maybe a punt or punt return. And then when we get opportunities in the red zone, we got to go score, as we talked about earlier in the show.
So again, Madison coming up on Friday, and for a lot of your or for a handful of your players, I should say, they've played in the playoffs before. They returned from last year's team, now playing on this year's team. But for some of them too, this is the first go-around of the postseason. What is your message to those players in terms of the difference between regular season football and postseason football?
Well, there's no tomorrow. I think that's the biggest thing. There's more at stake. Half the teams in Texas that are in the playoffs won't be here next week, and so your margin for error is pretty small. But at the same time, it really, let's handle Monday, let's handle Tuesday, let's handle Wednesday, let's handle the meetings, let's handle the practice drills and things like that. Cross your T's, dot your I's during the week, and then it's just football. And there's a little more at stake, and there's a little more eyes on you, and a lot of teams at a lot of places have already quit playing, and you're one of the fortunate ones.
And again, those Coach Hale's comments coming into this playoff opener against Madison. The Rangers have won the toss and have elected to defer, and the Mavericks will start at their own 25-yard line. A look at the offense here to start things off for Madison. A team coming in with a record of 6-4, riding a 3-game winning streak. A month ago, the playoff hopes for the Mavericks didn't look great. They sat at 3-4 with a 2-3 record in district, but 3 straight wins over Brandeis, Lee, and MacArthur, and they have punched their ticket here to the playoffs.
And they did it in convincing fashion as well, Brant.
They did last week, a 49-0 win over MacArthur, 52-14 the win over Lee the week prior, and an overtime squeaker, and the victory over Brandeis. First pass of the game incomplete from Caden Mata, and that sets up second down and 10 for the Mavericks.
Senior quarterback has had some success of late, though he got off to a slow start this season, Brant.
Really did. And again, these two are hooking up for the second time this year. In the first meeting, Mata just 22 yards passing at a 28-0 loss here at Ranger Stadium. Quick screen, and that doesn't yield a whole lot, maybe 5 yards there for Braden Campbell. And that was De Hoyos on the tackle for the Rangers, along with Colton Shepler. Brings up third down.
Campbell, their slot receiver, one of their more, most often used. He's the guy they want to get the ball to a lot.
Team high 21 catches in the regular season, over 400 yards for Campbell. 3rd and 5 here for the Mavericks. First possession of the game. Devon Cooper, big threat in motion. Mata throws complete, first down. Mavericks on a strike across the 35 to Trey Brown.
Brown really went up. Good receiver as well, has 3 touchdowns among his 12 receptions, but that was a pass almost too tall that he went up for and brought in.
Gain of 7 yards there for Trey Brown. Had a 2-touchdown game a couple of weeks ago in the win over Lee. First down for the Mavericks. And their first run of the night. Good for about 3 yards there. And that was Darius Dillard on the carry for the Mavericks, their leading rusher. About 5.5 yards per carry, and it's second down.
Bunch of Rangers on that tackle. Tanner Donovan, one of the safeties, getting a start tonight and made a good stop.
Mavericks back in the playoffs for a 6th consecutive year. They'd never miss a postseason under head coach Blaine Peterson. Mott's off the play fake. Brown to get a first down catch to midfield. Good drive so far for Mata. 3 completions so far. First down, Mavericks.
Brown did a good job of driving the receiver back, or the defender back that time, and then just stopped, and the timing of the pass was perfect.
So Brown, a couple of catches on this drive. Last play good for 10 yards. 25 yards on the drive so far for the Mavericks. 6th play of the drive coming up. Again to the ground, to the outside, broken tackle inside the 40. And on the carry, it's Miguel Becker. Mavericks looking strong offensively. Gain of 11 yards on first down.
Becker, their backup normally at running back, that time had a big carry as he got outside.
This Maverick offense averaging more than 175 yards on the ground per game. They ran for well over 400 last week as they clinched a playoff spot with a win over the Brahmas. 7th play of the drive. Mata slinging it deep and incomplete for Cooper. Against Jackson Duffy, and Devon Cooper is a big-time threat for the Mavericks. Talked about that earlier. Only 15 catches on the year, but 6 of them for touchdowns, averaging 30 yards per catch this year.
Good pressure by Hamilton and Woods both. They got a shot in on Mata as he released the ball. That perhaps a reason why it wasn't as accurate as hoped.
This Ranger defense held the Mavericks to 69 yards of offense in their meeting 2 months ago. And the game's first penalty is a false start against Madison. And that will turn this into 2nd down and 15. Madison's averaging about 7 penalties per game. Nearly 30 committed during this 3-game winning streak. Not something that you would relate to winning football. Right. 2nd down and 15. Mata 5 passing attempts already on the drive. This is Becker finds a lane. Miguel Becker to the outside. Good run inside the 35-yard line. Makes 3rd down very manageable here for the Mavericks.
Rangers just gave up a big hole as the end went long or high, and the tackle stayed inside, and there was a lane there that just was big enough for anybody to run through.
It's a gain of 10 yards for Miguel Becker, a 2-way player for the Mavericks. Also plays as safety for Madison. This could be 2 downs to get a first down here for the Mavericks. Mata hands to Becker again, and this time stonewalled, but good second effort. And that's going to bring up 4th down and a long 3 to go.
Good job of spinning away from the defender that time, and he got an extra 2 yards because he was able to.
So 4th and 3. The Mavericks out of field goal range for Caden Esquivel. This is the playoffs, Tony. It's time to go for it.
Amen to that.
4th and 3. Mott's under center now. Direct snap to Becker, and Smithson Valley all over it. Becker's going to be stopped short by a full yard, and a turnover on downs for Larry Hale's defense.
Don't know who was with him, but Hamilton just busted through the line and got contact to Becker even before he took his first step, it looked like, and that was a great read by the defense.
Kind of a high snap there to Becker. Took that play off schedule. And a promising drive for the Mavericks ends on a turnover on downs. And now the Rangers out on offense for the first time here tonight. And this is Derek Mata making his 9th start of the season. Off the pump fake, Mata's got to eat it and taken down. Well defended there by the Mavericks, coming out of the pile with the sack. Taylor Torres brings up 2nd down.
Well, they got penetration on the defensive line right from the start. The first one he pump faked past him, but the second one was right there and prevented him from throwing it after the second look. That was just good defense by their defensive line, which has some size to it.
4 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Opening round playoff game. Rangers first possession. This is Travis McCracken. And got slung down by Dalen Stanton. That'll bring up 3rd and long for Smithson Valley after a gain of 2.
Not exactly the way the Rangers wanted to start this possession, with a 3rd and long after an incomplete or an unable to pass, and then a short run. Good to see McCracken back out there last week, though.
Smithson Valley coming off a 20-6 loss to end the regular season last week against Steele. Rangers denied what would have been their first district championship since 2017. Backside pressure against Matza, and the pass is incomplete.
Wow, I was expecting a flag as the receiver turned. He got his jersey pulled pretty good, and the coach is talking to the official about that too.
Demetrion Delane there in the pass breakup for the Mavericks, and Smithson Valley's offense goes 3 and out on its first possession of the game.
Coach Hill talking with the side judge about that, and the side judge acknowledged that he saw the pull. He just didn't throw the flag.
After punt it, Manuel Osorio punted just one time against Madison when these two met back on September the 3rd. Off the low snap, and the punt is blocked. And Madison's going to take over just outside the 15-yard line.
The snap was low, but it looked like he fielded it okay. Just his kick was even lower than usual.
Look back at the play here. There's the low snap. And looked like he kicked that right to Shepler off the back of his blocker.
I think he just missed it.
And so Madison takes over inside the red zone. Mata, quick strike, completion. Cooper, nice move, makes another. Slips inside the 15. A lot of dancing around there for about 6 yards. Will bring up 2nd down.
He is electric and has the moves you want as a wide receiver at 6A football. He'll be playing on Saturdays next year.
So Mata 28 yards passing here in the opening quarter. Madison had 22 for the entire game 2 months ago in this matchup. On the ground. And this is Dillard off the sweep, takes it down to the 10 to bring up 3rd down. And there you see Shepler in the middle for Smithson Valley, their leading tackler. More than 80 on the season. This defense holding opponents to under 13 points a game.
Being called upon for a big stop here.
Mata off the play fake. Throws end zone. Touchdown. No, dropped. Cooper thought he crossed the plane, but he did not hold on the process down to the turf. Drops a would-be touchdown, and that brings up 4th down for Madison.
Watch it again. Just a beautiful looking throw. Cooper couldn't go to the ground and hang on to it. Not so sure, though. He looked like he spun one time with it and then let go. Might have been a review at a different game.
Esquivel on for the field goal try, and the kick is good. And the Mavericks have struck first in this Region 4 6A Division I playoff game on top 3-0, capitalizing off the special teams miscue by Smithson Valley. Let's compare these two teams, a matchup of the Mavericks and the Rangers. You see that Smithson Valley 2 games better in terms of overall record. Madison playing 8 district games, the Rangers 7. Smithson Valley a little more potent offensively. And the Rangers the number 1 seed out of District 27 6A. The winner of this matchup will take on the winner between Round Rock and Austin Bowie next week.
Round Rock's a pretty good football team, so that'd be a challenge for whoever wins this one. Not to say they'll beat Bowie, but they are the favorite.
So the field goal from Esquivel comes with 5:51 to go in the opening quarter. And Madison, which was shut out in this game back in the regular season, their first points of the series. And it comes in the first quarter of the first round of the playoffs. And there you see dangerous returnment awaiting. And Braden Mafitas and Kyler Clark. Mafitas does have a kickoff return for a touchdown this year. a 98-yarder against New Braunfels. And also 2 punt returns for touchdowns to his credit.
Be curious to see if they punt to him.
Esquivel will kick it to Clark. On the return, picking his way through, and Clark will take it to about the 34-yard line.
Very patient that time, as the defense was pretty much down on him when he caught it, and managed to get, 10, 15 yards out of something that you might not have got anything out of.
Smithson Valley in the playoffs for the 12th straight season. They've missed the postseason just once over the past 27 years. Had a memorable first-round win a year ago against Reagan. They were down 20-3 at the half. Came back to win the game over the Rattlers. First play in this drive. This is Malachi Lane. Lane rumbling across the 35-yard line, across the 40 to about the 41. Tough to bring down. Forward progress finally whistled after an 8-yard pickup.
Good job by Malachi. The defensive line all moved to the left as they started. Their left as they started. The blockers took them that way. So Malachi got to the opening you see right here to begin with, and then read the blocks that opened up, bringing back to the near sideline.
The strength of this Ranger offense is the run game between Lane and McCracken, but they were held to under 100 yards last week against Steele. An offense that was kept out of the end zone last week, just 2 field goals. On the sweep, Bafidis takes a hit. There is a flag away from the play at the line of scrimmage. Looking at the spot of the football, Bafidis does have the first down, but we have a penalty coming up.
That would seem to indicate offsides on the far sideline. Not real sure.
And here's a call from the head official.
Illegal formation on the offense.
Wow.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
So, flag against Smithson Valley. The Rangers penalized 7 times last week, and that takes off a first down for the Rangers. On second down, it's Lane again, and didn't get much on the tackle. Dominique Pena, and Smithson Valley faced with third down.
He got hit right at the line and didn't really have any room to go either way.
With the tackle for Madison. It's going to be
Third and nearly long here.
Derek Mata didn't play long against Madison. The first matchup, injured his non-throwing arm in the first quarter, did not return. Looking to throw here on third down, and he's got a catch to a receiver, Dylan Domel, his favorite target, and Smithson Valley moves the chains for the first time tonight.
25th catch for Dylan, who's been the favorite target for whoever plays quarterback here, mostly Mata. And he's got great hands, and you saw him go up and get that one.
Gain of about 22 yards on the throw. Mata's first completion of the night. Hooking up with Dylan Domel. Talked about his favorite target. Domel has 7 touchdown catches this year. The rest of the team has 5 combined. This is Lane on first down. Stonewalled again. Great pursuit by Miguel Becker and Isaiah Edwards. Second down and long for Smithson Valley.
Becker, as a safety, is really close to the line. We've noticed that a couple of times already, so I'm expecting the coaches are seeing that too and waiting for a chance to maybe catch him not back in coverage once or twice.
A Ranger team that started the year 7-0, their first 7-0 start in 8 years, but lost 2 of their last 3. Losses to Judson and Steele. And now opening up the playoffs here tonight off the play fake. Mata rears back, launches end zone for Clark, off his hands. Incomplete for Kyler Clark. Just off his fingertips, brings up third down.
And that was Clark on a post pattern without safety help. He had the cornerback beaten. If that ball is just, 6 inches shorter, we have a touchdown.
A look at the play again. Clark on the year, just 1 touchdown catch. Came against El Paso Eastwood. Almost had his second there.
Boy, that was off his hands. He probably thinks he wishes he probably could have brought that one in.
3rd and 10. Curious about the play call here because it does seem to be that area of the field where you might go for a 4th down. You don't need all 10 here. Mavericks bringing pressure. Mata flips it back to Bafidas, and the Mavericks all over it. On the tackle for Madison, Donovan Erdrich. Smithson Valley loses yardage, and we'll see what Coach Hill does here. Probably a punt coming up.
You know, when we played them again back in week 2, it's not like they were bad defensively. We won 28-0, but it wasn't easy going most of the game, and we're finding that right here. It's going to be a game of adjustments for both teams, but our offensive coaches, I think, are probably starting to see things that'll work later. Their team speed is remarkable, and it showed it in week 2, and it's been here tonight also.
Offense stays out there. 4th and 12. Mata off the play fake. Steps up, heaving it to the end zone. Incomplete for McDonald. And there are no flags in the field. A turnover on downs for Smithson Valley. And the Mavericks take over at their own 39.
Make a note of it, though. Miguel Becker, the safety, they're one of their better athletes, running back and safety, played linebacker on that play, and he had a late blitz to get to Mata, and just was about a step away from getting to him when he released the ball. I think that's why Derek maybe threw it a little or faster than he wanted to.
Mavericks off the turnover on downs, a gain of 6 on 1st down for Dillard. The Mavericks have run the ball pretty effectively here in the 1st quarter.
They have, and they don't have, they've got 3 guys who run for 380, 180, and 230, so it's not like any one of them's a bell cow, but they've had some success running the ball early.
An offense which has struggled against Smithson Valley in recent seasons. Mata off the play fake, going deep himself, got a man. Cooper inside the 15, makes a move inside the 10, and he's in for the touchdown. 55 yards for Navon Cooper. Another long strike for the senior. Mavericks on top, 9-0.
That was just a beautiful design play. He ran a post pattern. Mata got it up in the air and let him run under it, and then he made one move to beat the cornerback, and that's a touchdown.
On average, Cooper's 6 regular season touchdowns covered over 40 yards of real estate. His longest was 76. That one good for 55, and the point after is good. Speaking of Caden Mata, let's take a look at the Matas in this game. No relation, Caden for the Mavericks and Derek for the Rangers. There you see the numbers this season. Fairly similar. Again, both offenses rely very much on the running game, but each quarterback capable of making plays.
And their difference is they have a Cooper who can outrun anybody on the field, while we have fast receivers. We haven't been able to hook up on those kind of passes as much.
So, Caden Mata, a 55-yard touchdown pass, 11th touchdown throw of the season. And the Mavericks, off a special teams mistake and a turnover on downs, they've capitalized. And Smithson Valley has his work cut out for them. Madison playing with some swagger.
They are, and they're playing like they've been playing well for a month, and they have played well for a month. And they're, again, a much different team than we saw 2 months ago.
Bafidas, Clark again back deep. And let's see who Escobar will kick off to here. Again, angling that towards Clark from the 28. And Smithson Valley will start short of its own 40-yard line. Still a lot of football to be played, but you get the sense that this needs to be an important drive here for the Rangers.
I don't think there's any doubt. You've seen the team that you dominated, if you will, 2 months ago come out and jump all over you with 2 scoring drives and one of them a long pass play. It's time the offense wakes up and goes down and gets some points on the board.
Rangers offensively putting up more than 34 points a game. They were held in check last week against Steele. On first down, it is McCracken. And Travis McCracken bangs his way forward for about 6 and first down.
Good run by McCracken there. Patient as always. He sees and waits for a hole to open and then explodes through it. And nice run that time.
Team's leading rusher in the regular season, close to 800 yards on the ground. Held to just 43 on 17 carries last week against Steele. Movement. And let's see if Stanton was drawn off sides by Smithson Valley. If this is against Stanton and the Mavericks, that would be a first down for the Rangers, and it is.
Offside by contact. Number 92 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. It results in a first down.
And the Rangers will take it.
Smithson Valley played behind the 8 ball a few times in district play. Fell behind 7-0 to Wagner, 7-0 to New Braunfels. Came back and won both games handily. Down 10-0 here as the first quarter clock winds down. McCracken, a good first down run, will bring up 2nd down and 5.
McCracken again, just great vision, and the offensive line gives him something to get through, and he just seems to be able to take it quickly.
Might be time for one more play before we hit the second. Down to the final 10 seconds. And Almata slowing up the tempo. But he'll take a snap. It's McCracken again. And McCracken sifts his way for about 4.5, close to a first down. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. And what a quarter it was for the Mavericks. Field goal by Estevel from about 29 yards out. And Navon Cooper, a 55-yard touchdown catch. And the Mavericks are on top 10-0 as we head into the second quarter. Looking at the all-time series between these two teams, 18th time ever that they have met. The Rangers lead the series 13-4 over the Mavericks. And they have won the last 3 by scores of 44-0, 31-6, and 28-zip. And this is the 4th time they've met at the playoffs. You see the previous meetings, Tony, those all came in the region finals. These two meeting for the first time in the postseason in 14 years.
And it's not a regional final. It's a by-district playoff game, and so much less, if you will, on the line for that because you haven't advanced like you do to a regional final, but both teams want to get to a regional final this year.
Smithson Valley won that 0-2 game by a single point. Blew the Mavericks out in 05, 50-20. And then the two played to a wild finish in the Alamo Dome in 2007, won by the Mavericks, 38-35. And again, on top here, 10-0 as we get ready to start the second quarter. Second quarters, though, have been the Rangers' most productive quarter of the year. They have scored 108 points in second quarters this season, compared to 41 for their opponents. First play of the quarter. This is a run for Clark. Bobbled the snap, maintains control. And they got slammed down on a shoulder tackle by Damian Mendoza. But a good first down play, picks up 7.
We saw a lot of end of rounds, and yes, there is a flag. We saw a lot of end of rounds on the Steele game when trying to use their team speed against them, get them all going one direction and bring the ball back against it. And we'll see if this one holds up.
Rangers flag once in the first quarter.
Foul. Number 4 of the defense, hands to the face. Penalties from the end of the run, 15 yards, automatic first.
That'll help.
And the Mavericks have now been penalized 3 times for 25 yards. That one a big one, 15-yarder on top of a 7-yard run by Clark.
Yeah, that certainly puts the Rangers in prime position as you get into the red zone. Now you got to just take advantage of it and get some points on the board, preferably touchdowns.
Smithson Valley again could not find the end zone last week against Steele. Mata operating inside the 20. This is McCracken, finds a crease, explodes inside the 10. First and goal, Rangers on a gain of 16.
You know, we talked about it last week when Lane Malachi came to the game. He seemed to burst into holes, which we didn't see McCracken do last week in the first half. Tonight in the first half, McCracken looks just as quick, getting that first step in the ground and really exploding off of it.
4 carries, 29 yards so far for Travis McCracken. In the backfield again on first and goal. And this is McCracken off the left side. He's going to rumble in for the touchdown. And the Rangers an important touchdown drive. Score for the first time here tonight. So Travis McCracken, touchdown number 10 of the season. Great blocking off that left side. And again, Tony, we prefaced that drive, the one that Smithson Valley really needed to produce something. And here they produced potentially 7.
And, you know, you don't want to point out any offensive lineman over another because they all did a great job of blocking on that drive. But the left side really created momentum for him to get into the end zone.
The point after was good, but there was a flag thrown on it.
Offside, number 2 is the defense. That penalty's declined. The kick is good.
So, point after stands for Smithson Valley. And speaking of the offensive line, let's take a look at the big guys up front for the Rangers. This group for head coach Larry Hill. Moving a lot of furniture this year. And there you see him, Freeman, Thomason, the A&M commit, Stoney the center, Freeman and Tyler Stone. And really, the Rangers haven't had to shuffle the deck very much this year. What an advantage it is to play with the same 5 for a majority of the regular season.
And I'd be ventured to say that probably 95% of the snaps have been those 5 together. And they have worked well together all season long. And as again, you mentioned at the start of that drive, that was an important drive for Smithson Valley football. To be able to come back and tell this Madison team that we're still here and we're still ready to play.
So the Rangers a scoring drive. A little more than 60 yards covered. 4-yard touchdown run by Travis McCracken.
8 plays, 59 yards. Don't have the time because of the quarter break, but probably about 3 minutes.
All of it came on the ground. That in penalty yardage against Madison.
Yes.
And here is the kick from Amaya. Inside the 10, returned there by Madison. This is Cooper. And boy, again, he is dangerous. Devon Cooper finally tumbles down just inside the 35-yard line. Lance Zuber on the tackle for the Rangers. And so we mentioned the importance, if you're Smithson Valley, of the last offensive possession. Defensively, maybe important here to get a stop and rather quickly.
Well, and because you haven't stopped them tonight. You haven't forced them to do something they didn't want to do. And this is an offense that has really been on a roll through the first 13 minutes of this game.
3 possessions so far for Madison. A turnover on downs, a field goal, and a touchdown. And Cooper drops a pass, was wide open at the sticks and could have run for more. Misfire there. Cooper maybe another drop in this game, and it's 2nd down.
And we certainly understand why our cornerback is not press covering him. But that time he ran about 10 yards before he got to coverage and still wasn't in, zip zone, yes, of a defender.
2nd down and 10. This is a run for the Mavericks. Malachi Lane puts a shoulder into the gut of Darius Dillard. And just like that, 2 plays into the possession, it's 3rd down and long.
Good job. Malachi Lane, one of those linebackers that the Rangers have always had somebody that did that. He and Shepler have been quite a tandem, and Wyatt Hansen hasn't been anything to sneeze about either.
Malachi Lane, the Rangers' 3rd leading tackler, 8 last week against Steele. A chance for the Ranger defense to force a 3-and-out. Mata facing the pressure. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. They were looking for Braden Campbell, well covered on the play by Wyatt Hansen, And Smithson Valley's defense will get off the field in a hurry.
Hansen gets his 4th pass breakup of the season, and none bigger than that one there, because that would have been a first down pass.
And again, you saw the pressure. Diego Hamilton got an arm around the quarterback Mata as he got rid of the football. And so the first punt of the night coming up from the Mavericks from Demetrian Delane. Punted 8 times the last time these two played. And here is a return from the 30. This is Bafidis outside of the 40, down the sidelines. Accelerates inside the 30. Braden Bafidis does it again and puts the Rangers in business just outside the Maverick 20-yard line.
Right at the first part of that run, there was a real close to block in the back that they didn't throw a flag on. And one of they did throw it on the far side. If that's the block I saw, that's legit.
So just out of your picture is where the flag was thrown, and you look at the body language of the teams as you watch the replay. As exciting as it was, it's going to come back. A hold or a block of the back coming up against Smithson Valley. Boy, penalties have told a story in this first half.
That one, that's a tough one because it was very borderline whether it would be called, and that's why I didn't say anything until I didn't see a flag. But then the line judge on the far side is the one who threw it. Let's see what the call is.
Block in the back, just read his lips.
Yep.
During the return, illegal block in the back on the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And it wipes out a big return by Bafidis, and so Smithson Valley will now start deep in its own end of the field. They're going to mark the football inside the 20-yard line and down to the Ranger 18.
And that's tough because you had a great return, and again, the back judge I thought had the better view of it, but the side judge, line judge on the other side didn't shy away from throwing it.
Last Ranger possession. Smithson Valley 8-play, 59-yard touchdown drive. Mata off the play fake. Pressured. Mata takes a sack back at the 10. Aiden Contreras on the sack for the Mavericks. And Smithson Valley now faced with second down and close to 20.
He never really had a chance. The minute he dropped back, there was pressure on him, and he tried to avoid it and tried to get away from it and was looking for a receiver on the far sideline and just didn't have his feet enough that he could make a throw.
Loss of 9 yards on the play.
Mata comes out. Oh, no, he just came to the sideline to hear the direct word.
You see that large brace around the non-throwing arm from Mata. Again, that was the injury he suffered against these Mavericks 2 months ago. Caused him to miss 2 games. Before this running play, there was a timeout.
Whatever Coach Hill told him when he came over to the sideline, I don't think he didn't like what the defense was doing. Got word from the coaches in the booth, and just decided let's look at that again before we decide to go on 2nd and 19.
So again, Smithson Valley has the advantage of playing at home here tonight. Their 7th home game of the season, 6 in the regular season. Smithson Valley going 5-1. Their all-time record at home under Larry Hill, 116 wins to 18 losses. Very tough and tall order for Madison to win here tonight, but the good start by Madison on top, 10-0, and right now they have the Rangers offense in a tough spot.
Yeah, it's the good thing for Ranger fans is this is a long football game. They always are, and they've got time to correct things. But you're right. After the big punt return, you almost see them. I don't know if we were deflated, but we didn't have the high we thought we were going to be on, and you have a couple of plays that just don't work for you.
After the timeout, Smithson Valley's first of the half, 2nd and 19. Mata to the air again. And that pass almost picked off, looking for McDonald. And if Delane gets a hold of that, that's another Maverick touchdown.
Bafidis had planted himself on the hash about between the 25 and the 30, and he was wide open. Derek had decided he was going to go to the outside receiver, and I don't know if we'll see this, but Yeah, there's Bafidis on the hash, and he was there wasn't anybody within 5 yards of him when that ball was thrown. He would have been a better target maybe if Derek had seen him.
Not many plays in the playbook to pick up 19. And the Rangers need 19 to move the chains. Mata rears back, throws, deep ball, and the pass and coverage is almost picked at midfield. Looking for Bafidis, was well covered. There is Delane again. And Smithson Valley, that penalty on that punt return by Bafidis really put the Rangers at a tough spot. A sack and 2 incompletions. Now they're punting from around their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, the sack put you behind the chains to start with, and then you tried a couple of plays you wouldn't have gone for on 1st and 10 from the 18. Now you're 1st and 19, and you end up getting behind, or 2nd and 19, and now you got a punt.
Mata 1 of 6 passing so far in the game. And here is the punt from Osorio. That may have been tipped. It does take a Ranger roll across the 45 and down at the 47-yard line by Chase Senelik.
Osorio's punt is down at the 47.
I don't know. He just doesn't seem comfortable putting the ball. That time the snap was pretty good, but it's like he got in a hurry and he didn't get his whole foot into it. So kind of thought on the interception opportunity they had at midfield, let's hope the punt is better, and this time it isn't.
So Caden Mata, one of the captains on this team, back out there with Madison's offense and trying to build upon a 10-7 lead. First play, Cooper on the sweep, looking for an angle, and takes it to the sidelines. Good first down play there for Madison. See if they mark him out, though. They're going to mark him out after a 4-yard pickup, maybe 3.
Looks like a 3-yard run, and that was a good job by the Rangers. Cooper kind of downplayed that he had the ball, didn't really explode off the handoff. Kind of almost hoping nobody knew he had it, and that is Donovan again who got over there to push him out.
Pass complete, and that's close to first down, and it is. Braden Campbell, the catch down to the 31-yard line. First down, Mavericks.
Slot receiver uncovered. Mata saw it and threw it right to him.
It's a gain of 12. And Campbell, his first catch of the night. Another quick throw, another catch. And again on the catch, that is Trey Brown. And that's good for 7 yards and first down.
They're finding receivers with cushions, and they're just making those play right now.
Mata over 100 yards passing in the first half. Up to $112. After the 8-yard gain, Mata on the ground. First down, Mavericks coming up. Again, this Madison team building a lot of momentum into the playoffs. That overtime win over Brandeis sparked this team to a 3-game winning streak to end the season, to punch their ticket. And now they got the Rangers on the ropes here. Flag of the play. This play didn't happen.
I think it's procedure on them.
Pre-snap penalty against Madison.
False start. Number 54 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
Called against the right tackle, Michael Frydek. 4th flag against the Mavericks here in this first half.
See what they can do with a negative penalty on first down.
On first down, this is a run play for Dillard. And got spilled over by Gavin Woods after a short gain. Only a yard there for Dillard, who's been held in check so far. 5 carries, 14 yards. Smithson Valley's defense has fared a little bit better on the ground than they have through the air.
Second and 14 from the 24.
And now in second down, Mata to the air. Pump fake. Steps up, makes a man miss. And did a good job of cutting his losses and taking about 5 yards there to bring up third down.
Good job of moving to avoid Shepler. Shepler had a beat on him there and just didn't make the play.
So third down and 9 for Madison. Coming up with a halfway point, of the second quarter.
A little bit longer look to the sideline this time for him.
Mata off the play fake, pressured, gets away. Mata on the run, throws, the pass is intercepted. Intercepted by Jackson Duffy. Duffy the coverage against Trey Brown. Mata the mistake. And the game's first turnover belongs to Smithson Valley.
Great job of taking what was a forced action where we really got after him. And there you see again pressure, and Shepler ended up hitting him after Hamilton chased him. And then Duffy just made a great play in the corner of the end zone on Brown, stepped in front of him and made a great interception.
You know, you saw the official's hat was off as well. Even if Brown had caught that pass, I don't think it would have been allowed. Regardless, Duffy the interception, his first since his season opener against Warren. First down after the turnover, McCracken the run. Check that, Doug Lance into the game for the first time, and Lance good for 8 yards.
Doug Lance on the carry, gains 8.
Sophomore running back started the year at defensive end, playing much more on offense now, and has played well as a running back, more than 6 yards a carry.
Didn't see him run at all against Steele last week. It was just McCracken and Lane, and even though both running backs have gotten in there, this is our third running back.
Lance nearly ran for 100 in the win over East Central 2 weeks ago. On second down, Lance again finds a lane and has a first down. Lance, another 8-yard chunk, make it 10 there to move the sticks.
Yeah, he got about, well, if we got 10, then he got 7 of those and said, I'm going to get 3 more, and stuck his helmet right into the belly of the defender and just pushed him forward.
So again, Caden Mata, the interception. 5th he has thrown this season. And the Rangers defensively forcing their 20th turnover of the year. Trying to capitalize off of it as we come up on 5 minutes to go in the half. The Rangers have yet to lead. And this is Lance again, finds a crease. There is a flag. Boy, look at all the white shirts it takes to bring him down. If the play stands, it's a first down, but there's a penalty marker back at the 37.
That's good for a Ranger first down. There's a marker on the field.
I'm telling you what, our coaches upstairs and the ones on the field have found something.
Offside. Number 92 of the defense. Penalty decline. First down.
Gain of 12 for Lance. 3 carries, 30 yards so far in the drive.
That one is the best explanation I can make. We're finding ways to block their speed right now, and those are 3 holes that we've had for our running back.
Ball now near midfield. And it is Lance again. Why not? Running the hot hand. Lance here settles for a cool 2 yards to bring up second down.
That way, that time the defender just stepped out and didn't get blocked and was waiting for him as he got to the line of scrimmage. But I tell you what, our offensive line has opened up some holes on this drive already, and they just need to keep doing what they're doing.
Again, Smithson Valley, the 1 seed from 27-6A in Division 1. East Central, the other team in this region. In Division 2, the playoff teams from 27-6A, Steele and New Braunfels. No Clemens, no Judson. Second down, this is Clark on the sweep. Has blocks downfield. There's a flag, and this might come back. You see some frustration there by Miguel Becker.
Yeah.
May have been held. And this is going to come back.
Holding on the offense. Number 6.
And they get the hold against Zach McDonald. The 2 teams have combined for 7 accepted penalties so far, 55 yards in this first half.
So it's a 10-yard penalty, so he gets 3 yards on the run.
Spot foul, so you're right there, Tony. Second down, 14. Mata has yet to throw a pass on this possession. Just one completion so far. To the ground again. Lance again. Nice powerful run there by Lance. We'll set up 3rd down and 6 after a gain of 8 more.
He took a shot to his shoulder right just past the line of scrimmage and just kind of shook it off and kept going. That was a very physical run. I don't know if we can see it. Yeah, he got popped. You see his helmet kind of get jarred, and he got 5 more yards after it. That is a physical runner.
Contreras finally on the tackle there for the Mavericks. 3rd and 5. Every play of the drive so far, a run by Lance. Madison may have jumped, but they didn't touch anybody. No flag in the play. And a whistle. Timeout taken by head coach Larry Hill. Speaking of Coach Hill, looking at his history in the postseason. Again, he is in his 29th year at Smithson Valley, and he has 46 playoff wins. 273 wins overall in his career. 13 district championships, state finalist 3 times. And they are 19-6 all-time in openers, but looking for a long run this year. Smithson Valley has been past the 2nd round since 2015.
So in 23 years, he's got 46 playoff wins. Folks, that's pretty good. That tells you 2 things. He's in the playoffs a lot, but that's 2 wins a year on the average, even though he's also got, what was it, 43 and 26? Or
46 and 25.
46 and 25. So, you know, about a lot. Well, every year in the playoffs you could lose because you have to be eliminated. But 46 wins in 23 years, that's 2 a year. And we know some where they've been knocked off in the 1st round or knocked off in the 2nd round. So that's a lot of wins.
You look back at the early 2000s, mid-2000s, some long playoff runs, some of those resulting in trips to the state semis and finals. Out of the timeout, 3rd down and 5.
Big play.
To the ground again. Lance again. Cuts back. Lance explodes inside the 30. A man on a mission on this drive. 6 carries so far. 1st down, Smithson Valley.
For him to put his right foot in the ground and just jump into a hole that opened up, that was a spectacular run. I don't know if we'll be able to see it right there. Just put his foot in the ground and turned upfield. What a great run.
And a great block, too, by Dylan Domela, tight end. A seal block that freed Lance for about 10 more yards.
What was the distance on that one?
23 yards in the carry.
23. Wow.
63 yards on the drive so far for Lance. Why not? Him again. And this time we'll settle for about 7.
That time he turned up into a crowd, but still got 7 yards out of it.
Remember, Smithson Valley took over the football after a pick thrown to the end zone by Caden Mata. This drive began back at the Ranger 20 and now down to the Madison 21. Also keep in mind, Smithson Valley will get the football to start the 2nd half. Timeout is taken before this play with
that's Madison.
2:14 to go. Maybe, Tony, this is to give the Mavericks a bit of a break here, facing that Smithson Valley ground game, getting pounded a little bit right now.
It's not that Smithson Valley's running tempo, so they've been able to sub. It's just that, you know, again, at this level, how many quality backups do you have that you can, you know, change out your 2 defensive tackles who are getting worn out because they're getting beat up? That offensive line's just been spectacular on this drive.
Talked about Smithson Valley playing at home this year. 6 home games in the regular season. Only blemish was that wild finish against Judson. Rockets winning with just seconds to play, 33-32. But beyond that, very good home season here at Ranger Stadium. Been a long time since the Rangers last played at home in the playoffs. But they won the coin toss and got the chance to play here at home this season. Right now trailing 10-7, playing for their first lead of the night. Out of the Madison timeout, they have 2 left. Again, every play so far on the drive runs by Doug Lance.
Almost all 2 tight end formations, too.
Lance again, and fights for first down yardage. Will they give it to him?
Yeah, the referee's going to send the chains along.
If you're Doug Lance and you woke up this morning and were told you'd get 8 carries in the game, you'd probably be happy. He's had 8 carries on the drive.
And really had a 9th carry that he gets 3 yards credit for, even though there was a penalty, so it doesn't technically count as a play.
Smithson Valley inside the red zone.
We went away from 2 tight ends.
Under 2 minutes to go. Run again, Lance again. A flag is in. Lance stacked up and sent back. And this might come back.
Holding. Number 77 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first step.
You know, I mentioned the tight ends in the formation because we went away, looked more like a passing formation, and then we ran a little trap up the middle. We just got caught. So now 1st and long.
4 flags, 35 yards against Smithson Valley so far tonight. Clock is ticking, 90 seconds to go. 1 timeout left for Smithson Valley. And now from the Madison 27. This is a sweep. This is Clark with a head of steam, spun down inside the 25 by Contreras.
He had some momentum. He just couldn't get it far enough.
About 4 yards there for Clark on first down, makes it 2nd and 16. Keep in mind, again, Smithson Valley down to its final timeout with 45 seconds left.
Still plenty of time.
Mata, pump fake, now to the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, TJ Hunt, 2nd of the season. And what a time for it as the Rangers take their first lead of the night.
That was a beautifully thrown ball to the outside shoulder. Hunt still kept his shoulders inside, and the defensive back wasn't even always thrown, so I don't know that he ever saw the ball, and he didn't. He did not on coverage. Kajon Rogers, and that was a great pass from Derek Mata.
And from Mata, 9th touchdown pass of the season. Point after, an important one, and it is good by Clayton Amaya. So how about that 80-yard drive? 10 plays on the drive, 80 yards again covered, and 8 of those 10 plays runs by Doug Lance, ending on the 24-yard touchdown pass, Mata to TJ Hunt.
10 plays, 80 yards, and 5 minutes and 48 seconds on the drive. So not only did you get 80 yards and get a touchdown, but you took almost the whole second quarter and wiped it out, so your opponent didn't have any plays, or won't have many plays here to end the half.
So Smithson Valley on top, 14-10. Again, their first lead of the night. Madison jumped out of the gates with a 10-0 lead. Smithson Valley answering back, 4-yard touchdown run, Travis McCracken. 24-yard touchdown pass to TJ Hunt. And again, if you're the Mavericks, you can't help but wonder what may have been if not for the turnover, an interception in the end zone. Was that a 14-point swing there?
It was.
And Amaya will kick off. Line drive kick. And picked up short of the 20. And Delane just kind of shoved there and finally goes out of bounds with 28 seconds to go, and the Mavericks have 2 timeouts.
I don't think the coaches were too happy he got as far as he did, because they had him pinned down, and he just used his speed to get past a couple of defenders that weren't able to knock him over.
Again, this half is not over. If you're Smithson Valley, you have to put an emphasis on slowing down Navon Cooper. Big play threat, a 55-yard touchdown catch earlier in this game.
One of the biggest ways to do that is put pressure on the quarterback and make sure that Caden Mata doesn't have time to throw it.
Mata to the air. High throw and drop by Campbell. Boy, if those been an issue for the Mavericks tonight. That's the third drop for Maverick receivers. One of the drops came in the end zone back in the first quarter.
That ball was on spot. I mean, it wasn't an easy catch because his body was kind of contorted, but he's there. He's there to make the catch and run with the ball, probably get first down yardage, and maybe get enough that you can throw towards the end zone.
Now 24 seconds left. Safe play here from Madison. This is Dillard. This might run out the clock.
Darius Dillard on to carry for Madison. Malachi Lane on the tackle. Picks 4 on the play.
And we wondered again if that was the final play of the half.
36.
And it was. That snap not off in time. And we have played 2 quarters of playoff football here in Spring Branch. We got a good one. Rangers overcoming a 10-0 deficit. They lead the Mavericks going into the break 14-10. We highlighted this long-time series between Smithson Valley and Madison going back to nearly 20 years. But before we actually end the first half here, apparently there was a timeout called by Madison with 3 seconds to go. Now they put 1 second on the clock. Well, I'm not sure what play you draw up here when you are more than 60 yards away from the end zone.
Especially not when you run it on second down, like you're just saying the half's over. So then you call a timeout. Maybe they had a play they thought could get some chunk. You know, I'm almost shocked that they do this.
And so Smithson Valley will play prevent safe defense here.
Looks like we got about 6 defensive backs on the field, maybe more.
So barring a penalty
7
against Smithson Valley, this will be the final play of the half.
Get some pressure on him. Don't let him just throw the ball long.
Mata heaves it deep. And that pass is incomplete. And that will end the first half. So again, we talked about the series between the Mavericks and the Rangers. Tonight they are hooking up for the 18th time ever. They've met in the playoffs before, in district play before. So again, a lot of history between the Mavericks and the Rangers. Going to talk about that history. Longtime Rangers head coach Larry Hale with former Mavericks head coach and a coaching legend here in South Texas, Jim Streety.
23 years, your head coach here. Didn't look like this, though.
Not quite. We had a few grass burrs and a lot of clover out there a few times, if I recall.
Yeah, and a little bit more around the field than there was, huh?
Yeah. When we came in here, there was a barbed wire fence over there on the other side of that top field, and there was crops growing out there. And every now and then you might see a deer or coyote or something out there. And then to the back here where our ag facility is, there's nothing back there either. This was pretty much as far as things went out here, the football field.
What made Madison such a special place? You stayed 23 years.
Well, the community. This is pretty much a blue-collar community. Great kids that really don't mind working. And they had some success back in the 80s and then, kind of fell on hard times a little bit. But, and we had a great mix of kids. We just, I always like to say that this was the real world here.
I was fortunate. My parents decided very young that I was going to grow up with a set of kids, stay with the same set of kids through high school. So whenever I was enrolled at Woodstone Elementary School, I knew Coach Streety was going to be my head coach. So as I got to grow up and go to the games as a young kid, always knew who he was, always saw the teams, and it just became a habit of winning. And you didn't understand how great he was until he left. We won since I was 5 years old. It was district championships, and that was what Madison High School was supposed to do, and it was always led by Coach Streety.
Well, now, apparently you won some games here, because looking over here, And it's Jim Streety Field now. How's that feel?
I don't know. I thought they did that after you were dead and gone.
Well, doesn't look like rigor mortis has set in just yet, so
no,
that's a good deal.
They honored me by naming the field. I guess it was the year after I left and went to New Braunfels as AD. But we had a great run. My goodness, we had a great run there.
Can't name it after everybody, so I guess the guy at the top of the stationary is
those last 3 or 4 years were really special years. And again, I think it was just at that point it was because of expectations. Because once we got rolling, it was pretty much the expectation that not only were we going to be a playoff team, that we were going to have a run in the playoffs. And
now, speaking of run of the playoffs, now a couple of your players, Askew and Ehrlich, they kind of referenced some memorable games. Had one in the Dome against those Ranger boys.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I didn't put them up to that, Coach Hill.
Well, I sure didn't.
Man, I'll take it to my sophomore year against Smithson Valley. I think everybody will talk about that game. It was in the state quarterfinals, down a few touchdowns, and was able to rally back and have a big win and kind of go, not solidify his career, but that just showed the kind of coach he was and what he was able to accomplish.
So this next one here,
I don't know why is this in here?
Well, you put it in there.
I thought we were friends. We had a couple touchdown lead on you, right?
Well,
now it's down to one touchdown.
Luckily, part of the crowd left, and we were able to. But this is late in the game in the quarterfinals in 2007 in the Alamo Dome, and we notice we don't have a guy taking the snap under center there.
No, this looks different than the old Dixon play.
But we're in trips, and I was coaching the wide receivers in this game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was you recall that was a great crowd there. We were as we had talked earlier. We were a part of a doubleheader, and probably had 20,000 people there, and an exciting ball game. And we got hot at the end, mainly because of those two guys. Yeah. And the outcome was favorable for us that day.
everyone, welcome back to another Discovery Kitchen. We're so happy to be back. This month is October and our theme is Seed to Table. So today we're making a delicious recipe made by Mario, and it's gonna be yams. And here's our chef Mario.
Hey, welcome aboard. Look at this. We're going to be doing our Seed to Table series, and we're doing yams a la Mario. You're going to really love this. And this is not your mommy's or grandma's yams. Let me tell you, this is really very good. And it's just a keeper, guys.
All right, so let's start with our first step in preparing our yams. So what is our first step, Mario?
First thing, make sure you wash your potatoes and figure out how many people you want to feed. According to the recipe that you got, it's going to feed 6, and I'm going to say it'll feed 6 to 8 by the time you're done adding all your ingredients. When you get your potato, you make sure you wash it. Then you will get prepared to peel, and you're going to get yourself your peeler, which is universal. And remember, as you're peeling on your potato, that you can do your traditional straight and away from yourself. But you can also use the same peeler to do the back and forth motion and go a lot faster. Once that's done, you cut your potato into segments. Why would you do that? Well, you want to cut your potato in segments because it boils a lot faster.
About how long would it take to boil?
Usually about, honestly, maybe about 25, 30 minutes, all depending.
How big your chunks are, right?
Yeah, how big your chunks are of the yams that you use. Some of the yams are pretty big size. These that I happen to use today are not quite as big. I only took 1.5 pounds as the recipe called for.
And yams are pretty dense. They're hard. They're harder than...
Kind of like a summer squash.
Yeah, so it takes longer to boil and cook those through, so.
Once that you do that, and while that potatoes are boiling, you want to start on the rest of your recipe.
Yes.
Okay, so
what's next?
The first thing is going to be your personal pineapple that you went to buy.
Yes.
And the personal pineapple, you grab it and you don't rip it off. No, you just, I'm sorry, I had to do that. You take and you cut the top off, all right? Once you cut the top off, you may want to hold it. Why? For decorative.
Yeah, it's pretty.
A little bit decoration. You want to oil it up a little bit and use it for decoration.
Makes it shiny when you put oil on it.
Yes, it does. And if you truly want to get a little crazy with yourself, you can turn around and make a little decoration for the holidays. There you go. And you cut down to about the bottom, right here. And you want to use your safety glove, of course, to make sure you don't cut yourself. Look at that. And if you want to get a little fine doing, there you go. Now we have a little bit of a decoration for our table, so that in case the mother-in-law shows up, there you go. And then for the kiddos, you want to take and now see you've cut a fish. So you take your fish and you create a little cut there. Cut there, and you have a little fish, and if you take a toothpick and stick it here, and a cranberry.
For the eye?
For the eye,
Wow.
Then you have...
Fancy.
You have a little Finding Nemo thing going on, all right? So we're going to put Nemo over here, off to the side.
Being resourceful, not throwing away your cut ends of your vegetables.
There you go.
Sustainable, I like it.
Yes.
Repurposing.
All right, so now we're going to continue with the cutting of the pineapple.
Pineapple.
So we've cut the top and we have cut the bottom. So then we're going to start to cut at the sides here. And you want to cut so that you're removing, I call them the pimples, these bumps and everything that...
yes.
You want
no brown is showing?
No, because you know what? It's hard to bite.
It's hard to chew.
Yeah, hard to chew on. So, correct me, Ms. Sylvia, you're the RD. Fruits and vegetables are important
Any time of the day?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Any time you can get them in, you should eat them.
You should eat them.
You should really have them at every meal.
Yes, and get them in there as often as you can. So now, remember the pineapple has an eye. So you want to take that thumb and stick it right on top of the eye and poke the eye out. And then you cut straight down.
Okay.
And you get loins of pineapple. Like that. And now, mind you, you're probably not going to need the whole pineapple, and this is a great treat for the children. It's like eating a
corn on the cob.
Very delicious. So I'm not going to throw it away, Daniel. I know you want it. So I'm going to hold it over here. Oh, yes, ma'am. Right over here, off the camera. Anyway, I'm back. So it tastes so good. It really is. And so So you want to small dice your pineapple, okay? And you wear small dice in here.
And pineapples have vitamin C. We talk about vitamin C a lot. I feel like most fruits have vitamin C and vitamin A, which help support your immunity and help fight off bad germs. And then vitamin A helps with your eyesight, keeps your eye health good so you can see in the dark really well. I see it kind of looks like canned pineapple. Could you use a canned pineapple if you're short on time?
If you're short on time, you
or
can
it's
use
not in the season, maybe?
You can do canned pineapple, canned yams.
Okay, and canned fruits and vegetables are not less better than fresh fruits or vegetables. They're just canned. Sometimes they have a little bit more sodium or a little bit more sugar added to them because they are in the can, but that's okay. Just try to get a lower sodium version or a lower salt version of that. Yum.
To the side, right over here.
All right, so now we're gonna go to our next step. We just finished our pineapple. We're gonna go back to our yams that are finished boiling. So let's do that.
All right, so we're coming over here. Now that your yams are ready and you've prepared your pineapple, you're ready to add the yams. So now make sure you grab and you drain. You have something to drain into. Okay. And there you have it. All right, now that our yams are done.
They're nice and done, fork tender, perfect, looks great. And we're gonna add it to our pineapple. Great. And since we got our yams done, interesting thing, people get them confused with sweet potatoes, but they're actually two completely different plants. But they are both roots, so it's pretty common that they get confused. Yams are harder than sweet potatoes, and they're more rough. The skin is, a little darker, but they're pretty similar. Sweet potatoes are just sweeter than yams, but we're adding a bunch of good stuff to it, so they're gonna taste delicious.
Oh, yes.
So what are you adding?
I'm adding 1 stick of butter according to the recipe.
Wonderful.
And
I love
then
butter.
you can turn around and begin to mash, if you will.
Yes.
As you can see, they're very
easy to mash.
Easy to mash now because they're done.
Oh, another interesting fact about yams is since they're so tough, that normally indicates they have more fiber. More fiber, which we've talked about, is really good for your digestive health, keeping everything going. It's actually something we don't get enough of. Most Americans don't get enough of it in our diet, so try yams every once in a while, especially during the time they're in season, which is about this time, October, November, December, making this dish. Be great. What do you like to eat this with, Mario?
Well, I prefer really this with any meal, but I would turn around and have it with my Thanksgiving meal for sure.
That'd be a nice side.
Excellent side. It's so delicious. Now, make sure we're going to add brown sugar.
Okay.
And I recommend that you start with about a cup, but if you want to be conservative.
Is that a half a cup?
Half a cup, okay?
Okay.
And make sure you sprinkle that half a cup. And again, in my opinion, I think the yams are very sweet.
Okay.
But
I'm sure some are sweeter than others.
yeah, it's really a very sweet. So you want to go a little conservative.
Yeah, everything in moderation, making sure you have the right serving size. I would say about half a cup, maybe a cup if you really want, would be a good serving size of this. And we use brown sugar, right?
Brown
sugar.
sugar.
You can use maybe white sugar or a different sugar if you wanted. You recommend brown sugar though,
Brown
right?
sugar.
Okay.
No, giving it the holiday.
Okay.
And now we're going to add some cranberries. And so we have said that we would add about a small package of dried cranberries. So the packages vary in size, but small is good. And again, you can start to add. You can always add more. You have to take out. So we're going to add it. Yeah. So we're adding a small package of cranberries.
Oh, that looks great.
And you want to keep
color.
And color that it begins to come out.
Yes.
And then you begin to mix this. And of course, I don't know if there's anybody in the audience that has any nut allergies, because you could add nuts.
Oh yeah, what nut would you recommend?
Oh, for me, it would either be walnuts or, as some people from New York say, pecans. But you can add pecans. And pecans is good. Walnuts is great. Any kind of nut, in my opinion.
Okay, to give it a crunch with all the sweetness.
A bit of a crunch. If you're going to go with, what is it, the Brazilian nuts? Is that
Brazilian
right now?
nuts?
You can go, you just make sure you chop them up. But
Okay.
they really are very good. And now you have a gourmet, if you will, type yams. Now, to take it a step further, and I think we're going to go ahead and go with the rest of that, and we're done.
Wonderful.
Okay, so, and you can see that it has that bright red. It's going to pop out at you, okay? And you notice we started with half a cup of brown sugar, and we stayed right there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a little taste.
Taste test to see how
Just a taste test to see if we're there. And just to see, my focus is on the yam. And frankly, I would stay there.
Great.
And that way, because why? Well, because you're going to, my next recommendation would be to have a large marshmallows and put them on top, okay? And stick this dish into the oven at 350 for about 5-10 minutes or whatever until the top's brown. When they brown, you can go to heaven now. It's ready to go.
Almost like a different twist on a sweet potato casserole
But
that you
it's
traditionally
yams.
see. But it's yams, yeah.
But the thing is, the yams are going to turn around and add a special twist to your holiday meal.
Awesome.
And so I'm hoping that you will enjoy this seed-to-table presentation and eat this at home. And I'm getting ready to do my little presentation. So, are you ready? I'm ready. So here we go. Here's what I want to do. Here's what I recommend you
so great. It looks so
do
great.
this for your mother-in-law, and she'll be jealous, you know. Mine was. Anyway, but Mom.
Okay.
And in a minute we'll go make friends. But right now, we're gonna put our yams there. Because if you don't want to put them on the plate and you don't know if your guests are gonna like it, you can always have it on side instead of on the table in a big old bowl sitting out, and people get sick. So
Perfect. So let me see one of those. All right, so this is our final product. It looks delicious. We're excited to try it, and I hope you try making it this holiday season. This is our Discovery Kitchen. We hope to see you next time.
from our kitchen to yours, enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so time to try this. Let's see. Oh, wow. All those things work together to make it super duper delicious.
That's good. I love those clamp. Thank you.
Second half underway in this Region 4 6A playoff game. Opening kickoff of the second half, and Kyler Clark runs into his own man, but Fetus off his left hip. If there's a silver lining as a Ranger fan, is that there's a flag of the play anyway. This play probably would have come back, but if Fetus doesn't run into Clark, he's gone. But again, regardless, this is going to come back anyway.
He gets through a crowd of players and then runs.
Holding. Number 20 of the return team.
Runs into his own man.
From the spot of the foul, automatic.
So, penalty called against Malachi Lane of Smithson Valley. Rangers were down 10-0 going into the second quarter. But the Rangers, again, a very good second quarter team, scoring 14 unanswered, and with the football to start the second half. On the first play of the half, this is a run for the Rangers. They ran the ball very well to end the second quarter. A heavy dose of Doug Lance. And it was Lane on the first carry of the half here, good for a yard.
Yeah, the defensive line just kind of converged with a safety just to plug that one up that time.
Again, Lance on Smithson Valley's final drive of the half. 8 carries, 73 yards. After the 1 yard run by Lane, back to him again. Lane, powerful run across the 30 before he's driven back. Will bring up 3rd down and 2 after a gain of 6.
Same thing as what Lance did on one of his runs near the center of the field in the second quarter. He got hit hard on the shoulder, kind of jarred him back, but then jolted ahead for another 5 yards.
Lane limited to 9 yards on the ground in the first half. 3rd and 2. So far, the first 2 plays, runs for Smithson Valley to start the third quarter. Mott in the first half, just 2 completions on 7 attempts, but one of them a touchdown. This is Lane for a first down, just short of the 40-yard line.
He got there quick. His first couple of steps just jolted him out there. Got to the corner and got the first down without much difficulty. Didn't get much after that, but that was a good-looking run by Lane, who, again, didn't have many chances in the first half.
Lane last week against Steele, 7 carries, but limited to just 29 yards. Against Smithson Valley's offense had a tough night against a good Steele defense. After the first down run, Mata to the air for the first time in the quarter, and the pass is bobbled and incomplete for Clark. Again, Mata just 2 complete passes in the first half. One of those a 22-yard strike to Domel, and the other a 24-yard touchdown to TJ Hunt.
That one that's kind of surprising. I know he's not pleased with himself that he didn't catch it, but that hit him right in the hands.
Derek Mata so far as a starter this year, 6 wins, 2 losses. In his first playoff game as a starting quarterback tonight. On second down, back to Lane on the ground. Lane will set up 3rd down and 4.
Running through some arm tackles that time. So after an incomplete pass, you get a run for 6 yards, and all of a sudden 3rd and short again.
6th play of the drive coming up. First time the Rangers have possessed the football with the lead tonight. Lane again to the backfield. Off the play fake. Mata steps up, heaves that, incomplete. May have been dropped by Domel. Got a hand on it. And some jawing back and forth between Domel and Demetrion Delane. And on 4th down, Smithson Valley will punt it back to the Mavericks.
Looked to me like that ball was a little bit behind him and he couldn't get his shoulders back to it. So on the run, running left and throwing with his right arm, a difficult throw that wasn't successful.
Not a good first half for the punter, Manuel Osorio. One of his punts went into one of his own blockers. 3rd punt of the night for Osorio. That's a good punt this time. Favorable bounce Inside the 20, trickles down to the 19-yard line. 39-yard punt there for Osorio. And the Mavericks start at their own 19, trailing 14-10. You look at the first half numbers for Madison's offense, 178 yards. Caden Mata, a 55-yard touchdown pass to Navon Cooper, but also that critical interception thrown to the end zone. And the first play
pre-snap
is a penalty against Madison.
False start. Number 81 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains first.
Mavericks had 66 yards rushing in the first half. Leading rusher was Miguel Becker, 24 yards on the ground. And there is Brown at the receiver, 2 catches in the first half for Madison. Campbell in motion on 1st and 15, and he wasn't expecting it. Lucky that wasn't picked by Tanner Donovan. It goes off the helmet of Campbell, and it's 2nd and 15.
Confusion from the start as the defensive line all adjusted to the right. Their motion went to the right, and Mata just took the ball from the snap and just threw it straight out there. And again, Campbell wasn't ready for it.
Not quite the helmet, more like his shoulder pad. That not a drop, but again, drops were a big issue for Madison back in the first half. A blitz on 2nd down, and the Rangers get to Mata. Back of the 6. Hanson and Jackson Maynard there for Smithson Valley brings up 3rd and long.
Whole bunch of Rangers were there. Brock Whitaker was in there too. As we just busted through the line, they let us through without any discomfort.
Smithson Valley has done a good job getting after opposing quarterbacks this year, more than 30 sacks in the season. That, though, their first one tonight. 3rd and 18, pressure again. Mata on the run, throws, complete. Campbell the catch and a first down for the Mavericks on 3rd and 18.
And I know Cooper's the guy, but Campbell's been Johnny on the spot too many times tonight on big 3rd down plays.
Gain of 26 yards.
You were in serious danger on 3rd and 18.
4 minutes gone by in the 3rd. Mavericks with their first run of the half. And that is Dillard, good for about 4 on 1st down.
Yeah, it's interesting, as well as we thought they ran in the first half, they came out throwing in the second half just because of penalties and sacks.
Darius Dillard moving from defense to offense over the offseason. That's been the Mavericks' leading rusher this year. Quiet so far tonight. On 2nd and 6, Mata complete to the tight end, Martinez. First catch for the big tight end, 6'2", 230. First down, Mavericks.
Yeah, he's been in there every play doing something as a tight end or an H-back. This time they threw to him in an effective look.
12th catch on the year for Martinez. Not a Madison team that throws the ball a lot, but the top targets have been Cooper, Brown, and Martinez. Good drive so far for the Mavericks. Sweep to Dillard, trying to get away from Egley. And Camden Egley, tackle for loss, will make the 2nd down and 12.
Good read by the defense that time. Egley was on the spot, made a great play.
Camden Egley, senior player, well over 50 tackles on the season, 5th leading tackler on this defense. Holding opponents to 13 points a game, 10 so far for the Mavericks, none since the opening quarter. After a loss of 3, Mata on the draw by design, and Mata finally hammered down inside of midfield by Gavin Woods. Will bring up 3rd and 10.
Good job by the defense there of reading the situation and like running to the ball. Everybody got there and got a piece of him.
The Mavericks earlier on this drive converted on 3rd and 18. This 3rd and 9. halfway through the third of this first round playoff game. Mata back to pass. Hit by Lane, throws, intercepted. Egley, make that Donovan on the return, flying down the sidelines. Donovan cuts back, takes it inside the 20. Second pick tonight for this Ranger defense, first this year for Tanner Donovan.
Boy, Mata that time thrown into a bad situation. Looked like 4 defensive backs covering 2 guys, and a great job that time. Donovan just read it and then had a good read down the sideline, got some key blocks, including the hold right there by Whitaker, and ends up, like you said, inside the 20 before he's dragged down. Rangers in perfect position.
You saw Mata looking for Navon Cooper, was well covered and threw that under duress. First play after the pick. Bafidis is going to walk in. Touchdown, Smithson Valley. Braden Bafidis, and what a turn of events.
What a great run. We've seen the end around a couple of different times to utilize their speed over pursuing. This time he got 2 or 3 key blocks on the outside, including the receiver down the field at the goal line, that allowed him to just skate in untouched.
So Braden Bafidis, the first play after the interception on the jet sweep. And Smithson Valley has now scored 20 unanswered and make it 21. Smithson Valley on top 21-10. You look back in the first half and the big plays for the Rangers, once down 10-0, and Smithson Valley was able to respond. Some big plays that got the Rangers the lead going into the halftime locker rooms, and it all started with a touchdown run by Travis McCracken on a long scoring drive for Smithson Valley, just shy of 60 yards, 8 plays. This run by McCracken put the Rangers on the board. That good for his 10th rushing touchdown of the season. Madison, though, had a chance to build on a 10-7 lead, but then Caden Mata picked off in the end zone. Great play by the sophomore Jackson Duffy. Mata again throwing into coverage, and the Rangers make him pay. The ensuing drive goes 80 yards, a lot of Doug Lance, but the drive ends at a 24-yard strike. Mata, the TJ Hunts, and that puts Smithson Valley on top 14-10. And now it's 21-10 after this play by Braden Bafidis after another Mata interception.
You know it's deceptive when you even fake out the cameraman, don't you? And that's, we got some of the best camera people around, but that one caught him by surprise.
And that's how you erase a 10-0 deficit. Ensuing kickoff, fielded by Campbell and slips down.
This time, instead of kicking it deep, we kind of popped it up, and Campbell caught it right near the sideline.
And so now, if you're the Mavericks, it's a 2-possession game and still 17 and a half to go, but the way that Smithson Valley's playing offensively, if you're Madison now, you really can't afford many empty possessions, if any at all.
I think you're right. I think to answer, we talked about Smithson Valley's answer in the first half. They have to answer with some points here, even a field goal to get the momentum back to being balanced.
Here's Mata, and there is Scheffler, along with Jackson Maynard. Little to no gain there for the quarterback Mata on first down.
Second time in the last 2 series we've seen him on a quarterback draw, if you will. And that's after not having done it at all the first part of the game. Kind of surprising that it comes now.
5-minute mark, third quarter. Madison came out with a lot of swagger and now playing from behind, trailing 21-10. Mata, quick swing pass. Cooper, boy, can he run. And Cooper out of bounds for a first down at a gain of 11.
Best plays they've had is to get it out on the edge and let their playmakers run, and that's Cooper, their best receiver on the move, and he made a play out of almost nothing.
Again, Madison on the year, 6-4. Quick strike, completion And another first down. That's Cooper again for the Mavericks. Again, a big target. Why not go back to him?
I think we might see a pretty steady diet of Nevin Cooper right now because he seems to be the guy that's making the better play for them.
Of Madison's 4 losses, they had near comebacks and 3 of them from double-digit deficits. This team has been to this spot before. To the ground, Becker, and shoved back. He'll lose a couple to bring up second down and long. Madison was down 11 in the second half to Reagan and wound up losing by 3. They trailed 28-0 to Clark going into the fourth quarter. Scored 3 straight touchdowns before falling 35-21 and almost came back down 42-21 against Johnson.
They do have the ability to score in a hurry. We know that from what they've done in district play.
Second and long. Matza, boy, Eggleston, great coverage there against Cooper. It's only a short gain of about 4 yards there, and we've seen a lot of soft coverage against Cooper. But if the approach now is quick strikes, you're going to see that man coverage cheat up.
And that time Eggleston he stayed back until the ball was snapped, and then he ran up and met Cooper at the spot. Good job by Eggleston on the play.
Nevon Cooper, 3 catches on this drive. Now 3rd and 8. Matza on a broken play, eats a sack. Gavin Woods, what a season he has had. A monster year. 24 tackles for loss. Nearly a third of the team's total belongs to Woods alone, and 16 sacks. 4th down for the Mavericks now.
He just seems to be on the right spot all the time.
He and Diego Hamilton sharing that sack. And Madison, a promising start to the drive, stalls short of midfield. And here is Delane. Punts it away. And this will be returned by Clark at the 30. Spins out of trouble and then dropped short of the 40-yard line. And Smithson Valley coming back out on offense. Again, you look at the great defensive play from Gavin Woods. Again, he's been a monster this year on the defensive line. Went through his numbers, also has 17 quarterback hurries. You look at Smithson Valley's defensive front. We'll get that information to you in a moment. First, it's first down for the offense. Running play, but Kraken will charge ahead for about 4.
And he'll get probably close to 5. He slipped on his first step, and he might have got farther if he hadn't slipped.
So again, the Rangers defensive front, the 4 starters up front. There's Woods on the right. Maynard, good young sophomore player. Hamilton, Whitaker, also seniors. Smithson Valley's unit has picked up, again, close to 40 sacks this season, and it all starts up front. On second down, McCracken cutting it back. Good run. McCracken with the first down into Madison territory.
Man, just putting that foot down and changing direction. He is a powerful runner, but showing some elusiveness tonight as well.
Gain of 12 there from McCracken. Over 50 yards on the night as we wind down to the final minute 30 of the third. This Ranger team was at a tough spot early, but never panicked. Trying to build upon a 21-10 lead. Mavericks again nearly jump off sides. Here's Matza. Hand off to McCracken. Good patient running, but that time stuffed.
You know, he didn't get much there, a yard, maybe 2, but I think he realizes what we've gained by playing some of the faster defenses in our district. If you're going to go off tackle, but keep it tight to the tackle, don't bounce wide because their speed will run you down. He ended up getting a yard there when there was really nothing.
And now under 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. You get the sense a touchdown drive might ice the game. This is McCracken, explodes inside the 30. Unleashed inside the 20. Tackle finally made by Isaiah Edwards. An impressive run by McCracken, his longest tonight.
And he just exploded into that hole.
Gain of 21. McCracken up to 73 yards on the night.
I think all of our running backs have shown different signs of elusiveness, and just we've run the ball well because our offensive line is blocked well.
You get the sense that that offensive front is starting to wear down Madison's front seven. Back to the ground, back to McCracken, slips inside the 15 and down to the 10. And good 9-yard run there from McCracken, inching closer to a 100-yard night here in the playoff opener.
And that'll be the last play of the third quarter.
Takes us into the fourth with Smithson Valley on top 21-10. Again, the Rangers finishing in second place in a very tough 27-6A district. As you look at the way things finished in 27-6A, that yellow line marking the playoff teams at the top, the non-playoff teams at the bottom. And to see Judson, a sub-500 district record and out of the playoffs, a losing record for the first time since the early 1970s for the Rockets. A stunning development here in 2021.
Well, and there's two of them, Judson and Clemens, two teams that have been in the top four for the last half a dozen years at least.
Steele, undefeated in the regular season. Smithson Valley finishing in second place, tied with New Braunfels, but the Rangers beat the Unicorns in the head-to-head. And Coach Hill's alma mater, East Central, also in the playoffs, and tonight facing Reagan. And ready to start the fourth quarter. Smithson Valley a chance to really pull away here. Second down and short. This is McCracken. And McCracken's in for the second time. What a drive by Travis McCracken. 6 carries on the drive, and his 6 is good for 6.
You know, his blockers gave him about 10 of those 20, and the last 10 he just fought with people on him. A great physical run, as you see again here. Some contact, well, inside the 10, and he dragged 8. 8 tried to get him, but didn't spin him around until he in the end zone. And a good-looking touchdown run for Travis McCracken, who now, what is that, his 11th
of the season?
Yeah.
Point after good. 28-10. Rangers once down 10-0. So we went through Smithson Valley's district, 27-6A. As you look at McCracken, 92 yards on the night on 11 carries. What about Madison's district? 28-6A, also very tough. It's a big District 2. You play 8 district games. San Antonio Johnson tonight facing New Braunfels, going undefeated in this district. Mention Reagan.
And New Braunfels is up 36-20 in the fourth quarter.
Wow. Brandeis, a team that Madison beats, and the Mavericks all making the postseason. Very tight race to get those final 2 spots. You see only a game separating Roosevelt, Clark, Madison, and Brandeis. Well, that would be a stunner. New Braunfels finishes that out.
Yeah, and then Bowie is beating Round Rock 10-3 in the second half of that one up in the Austin area.
Again, the winner of this game, it's either Austin Bowie or Round Rock, and the Dragons are one of the top teams in Central Texas. The favorite. Smithson Valley has 11:56 to go before they can think about Round Rock next week.
One more score. East Central trails Reagan 7-6 in the third quarter.
Well, 27-6A, a good showing in the opening round. Kickoff fielded Cooper from the 5. And Madison down 3 possessions will start at its own 21-yard line.
Last score from our district teams. Steele leads Brandeis 28-7. That one also in the second half.
And coming up in a bit, we will look at the playoff bracket here in 6A Division I and the 4th region. The flag of the kickoff return, well away from where the play ended. And here's the call.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, number 14 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot, automatic first down.
And for Smithson Valley, that is their 6th flag of the night, now for 60 yards.
Coach Hill not very happy. He's still arguing it with a couple of the officials on his sideline, or at least discussing things as the ball spotted out at the 36. He got some points in.
Speaking of points, the Mavericks need them in a hurry. Early stages, 4th quarter, but down 18. Mata on first down to the air and a completion. That's a Campbell into Ranger territory. Good start on this possession.
Campbell has a way of finding a way, has a way of getting open, and Mata's been able to find him almost every time he's been open.
Mata over 160 yards passing now in the night. Has thrown the football 21 times. His 22nd pass complete. Campbell again. You figure Madison will be one-dimensional here, but that dimension right now playing well.
And because he is the slot receiver, Campbell is just going into the void, and Mata's just finding him there. In essence, uncovered at the line of scrimmage. Safety has him deep, linebacker has him shallow, but there's a hole there, and he's just sitting down in it. This time they cover it better. Mata's forced.
Mata escapes pressure and completes. Inside the 25, Campbell again. First down Mavericks on a gain of 20 more.
They took Mata out of the first pass pattern that he had that Mata wanted him, and then he just kept running, and Mata kept the drive or the play alive.
Caden Mata in his first career playoff start, 3rd different starting quarterback for the Mavericks in 3 years. We'll have a 4th and 4th year in 4 years next year. Mata throws complete again, this time to Brown, and that'll move the chains on a gain of 10.
Hope it's too late, but they've found a niche here to find open receivers, haven't they?
Really have. Mata 4 straight completions. Mavericks stay in the hurry up. Now to the ground. This is Dillard. And sent back. Woods and Maynard on the tackle there for Smithson Valley.
All those passes, and then they try a run.
That will take some more time off the clock. A little more than 2 minutes gone by here in the 4th. Ranger defense trying to catch his breath right now. Up-tempo Maverick offense. After the run, Mata off the play fake and run it himself. Mata cuts it back inside. Takes a shot from Shepler. And I think he's just short of the first down.
So the ball's about the 3. What's that, a yard to go?
They're going to mark it down as a short 2 here, long 1, depending how you look at it. 4 down territory for the Mavericks. 3rd down, high snap to Dillard out of the Wildcat, and Dillard's in. Lightning quick drive by the Mavericks and their first points since the first quarter, and they're not going away yet. Look back here at the play. Good blocking by Madison. Hard running by Dillard into the end zone for the 5th time this year. Madison scoring in just 6 plays on the drive. and in a little more than 2 minutes. 28-17. We mentioned the playoff bracket here in 6A Division I and Region 4. And here it is. You see the teams ahead of Smithson Valley and Madison above them. Bowie and Round Rock, the winner of that game, faces the winner of this one. Bottom half of this bracket, Brennan should be a heavy favorite there against Laredo United, with Mission and Los Fresnos also waiting on the bottom part of the bracket.
Los Fresnos has some ability down there. They're one of the more, I don't know, established isn't the right word, but they have more talent than a lot of the schools do down there.
Again, Smithson Valley has not been past the second round since 2015. Trying to get past the first round for a second consecutive year here tonight. They're leading by 11 with a little more than 9 minutes to go in the fourth. Quick drive for the Mavericks, 6 plays, about 65 yards covered. Touchdown run by Dillard. Madison with an onside kick, high in the air, and Madison recovers. Cooper cannot advance the football. The ball is dead the moment he touches it, but the bottom line is here. Madison gets the football right back.
How on earth?
An excellent kick there by Esquivel. A ball that bounces in Madison's favor, and the Mavericks all of a sudden can make this a one-possession game. That second hop.
What a bounce. What a bounce.
Caught Domel by surprise. Back on the Mavericks. Down 11. Mata rolls out on the run, throws, caught. Trey Brown, a first down near the red zone. Gain of 18.
All of a sudden, they've got all kinds of momentum.
6 straight completions for Mata since his interception. And back to action here.
False start.
A flag call before the snap.
False start. Number 1 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
It's against Devon Cooper.
So that'll help slow them down just a bit.
The Mavericks, again, have been a very good fourth quarter team. They have played very well this year with their backs against the wall. Doing so again here tonight. 1st and 15 to the run game to Dillard. Surprised to see Madison go that route. That'll keep the clock moving, and they haven't had that much success on the ground here in the second half.
Got most of the penalty back. But yeah, I agree with you. Kind of a surprise that you'd run the ball. Just knowing you're still 2 scores down.
Coming up on 8 minutes to go. Touchdown or field goal makes it a 1-score game. Campbell in motion. Mata high for Campbell as Smithson Valley was bringing a blitz. It's 3rd down.
Coverage from Donovan over there. I think he was kind of hoping that ball might have been a little bit lower because he was sneaking over there looking for an interception.
So now 3rd and 11. That incompletion from Mata broke a string of 6 straight completions. He's had a very good second half, especially here in the fourth quarter. Mata on the run, throws to Dillard, and banged it out of bounds by Egley and Shepler. 4th down for the Mavericks, about 4th down and 5. Again, a field goal does make it a one-possession game. What do you do here, Tony?
Yeah, my guess is they're going to have to pass the ball on 4th down. I don't think you can leave it up to your running back to get yards as well as Smithson Valley. Smithson Valley put plenty of pressure that time. They just didn't get the sack.
4th and 5. Mata and the offense staying out there. This could be Madison's season on the line. Mata steps up, slings that, incomplete. No flags.
Pressure on Mata, threw it behind the receiver, who couldn't stop in time to get his hands back for it.
Broken up by Eggleston, Garrison Eggleston, younger brother of Greg, a 3-year letterman for Smithson Valley, now at Tarleton. Makes the play here. And you said it too, Tony. The pass behind of Vaughn Cooper. If that's on target, could be talking about goal to go. Instead, a turnover on downs.
McLean Garrett, the junior defensive lineman, in there and almost got him a sack.
And so Madison can't capitalize on the onside kick. First play, Doug Lance. Lance only had 1 series in the first half, and my goodness, he made it count. On that series, Lance, 8 carries, 73 yards. And his first carry of the second half here is good for 7 more.
He has been physical and is also quick to the spot. The Rangers have them a trifecta of running backs who have all run well tonight.
Smithson Valley in no hurry here offensively. The play clock you see there is off from the actual one in stadium. Snap comes with 4 on the play clock. Lance again. Patient running. A flag will bring this back, though. This will set up 2nd down and long.
Unfortunate, because you're right. He was patient running. Play clock was run down. All the ingredients for a good long drive. We had a 6-minute drive earlier in the game. Would like to do another one here.
77 of the offense.
That's a second one on.
Replay 2nd down.
Colton Thomason.
Second one on Colton.
70 yards and penalties for Smithson Valley tonight. A lot of them have come on holds.
Actually give Doug credit for a couple of yards on the run. So it's 2nd and 13.
And there was movement before the snap. Looked like McDonald may have jumped early for Smithson Valley.
That's too bad, because our left tackle Tyler Stone was already into the secondary laying blocks on.
Again, Smithson Valley looking to advance to the 2nd round. They face either Round Rock or Bowie next week. Smithson Valley won its bi-district game last year over Reagan. They were down by 17 at halftime, came back to win that game 24-20, got a key pick 6 from David DeHoyas, and that come from behind win. 2nd down and long, kind of a broken play here. Mata will charge forward for about 6 to bring up 3rd and long.
I think that was a design quarterback run. I think he. Let's see the replay, but I thought he just did a ball fake and then pulled it down.
We'll take a look at it here. Based on body language, it looked like the play was designed for somewhere else. But
okay.
you could be right, Tony. There was a big hole up the middle where Mata took the football. So the clock winding down to 5 minutes here. Madison does have all 3 timeouts. And if you're head coach Blaine Peterson, when you think about using them. Lance on 3rd and 10, short of the 1st down, but this will keep the clock moving. Just short by about a yard here, but no way do you think about going forward if you're Larry Hill. Right? He got 9. He's a yard shot.
Yeah, he's only got a yard to go. Are they rolling the dice here?
Now, if you do get the yard,
maybe see if they'll jump.
The game probably ends. So how about this? In the playoffs, mind you, and Madison will call for a timeout. Possible Larry Hill was doing this to get Blaine Peterson to use one of those timeouts.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, but I really my guess is we were going to go out there and try to draw him off sides. I mean, we've both been calling Smithson Valley games for a long time. I don't see him going for this on your own, inside your own 30-yard line, knowing that they're 2 scores down with 4.5 to go. You're giving them a chance for an easy one.
Talked about the bi-district round for Smithson Valley, trying to advance for a second straight year. And the Rangers in this round, 19 wins all time, a record of 19-6 in first-round games. And again, a year ago, that win over Reagan. But then Smithson Valley ran into a buzzsaw in the second round, Austin Westlake, a Chaparral team that wound up winning the state championship.
And favored to win it again this year by most of the prognosticators I've read. They are really, really good.
Should note the Chaparrals are in Division 2.
Yes.
Not in Smithson Valley's division.
Yes.
But yes, with that offense, that defense, Cade Klubnik, one of the top recruits in the nation, commit to Clemson. There's a reason why the Chaparrals were picked to repeat as champs again this year.
And if he's that good, he'll play next year. Because they need a steady quarterback.
So, out of the timeout by Madison, Smithson Valley will now come out to punt. Osorio. Clean punt.
Best one tonight.
And Madison had nobody back deep. And so that will put the Mavericks at the 28-yard line. With 4:18 to go, Madison down to his final 2 timeouts, trailing by 11.
45 yards on the punt.
Osorio, a much better second half than he had in the first. And Madison's going to have to be up-tempo through the air here in the final 4:18. Mata off the play fake, steps up, launches. It's caught. What a catch by Brown.
Wow.
Boys, he had a game tonight. Good strike by Mata, closing in on a 300-yard night.
That ball was defended well, and he went up and made the play.
Gain of 29 yards.
First down for the Mavericks, 1st and 10 from the 44.
On first down, Mata to throw again, and again taking a shot and deep, and the pass is almost picked by Eggleston.
We rushed 5 that time and almost got to him. We hit him right as he released it, but still had a release of the ball. Rangers not sitting back playing just coverage defense. They're bringing the house. And again, he gets contact on the release.
Going for Campbell, who turned into a defender there for Madison.
He sure did. You know, we've talked about offensive lines. Their offensive line hasn't been dominant tonight, but they also have been bending but not breaking all night long.
2nd and 10. Mata again to the air. Looking, heaves that complete. Man down the sidelines. Brown breaks free. Brown for the pylon. Just short. They mark him out at the 1-yard line. 43-yard pickup.
And I'd like to see a replay here. This is almost a touchback. He almost fumbled the ball into the end zone. Let's get a look at it here. Because he reaches out for the goal line.
Tanner Donovan there, and you see it.
Yeah, he's on the other side of the pylon. Ooh.
He may have scored there.
Are they talking about it?
No, there was a play run while we were showing the replay. It's 2nd down and goal now. The lost yardage there for Madison in play.
Yeah.
A loss of 4. Clock is ticking. Mata looks, throws in the flat, has a man, touchdown Madison. Dillard on the swing pass with 3:08 to go. Again, this game is not over.
Nope.
And now Caden Mata over 300 yards passing on the night. Touchdown pass to Dillard. And it's 28-24. Madison going for 2. Jump pass complete. Brown.
Wow.
8-point possession, 3-point game with 3:08 to go.
Rangers are going to need a bunch of first downs right now to seal this victory.
What a series that was for Trey Brown. The entire season, 13 catches for Brown, has 6 tonight, and the entire year, a little more than 160 yards as a receiver, has caught 127 yards worth of passes here tonight.
And he's looked like an All-American at times. He has gone up and made plays. That was a great catch and move to get down the sideline and what may have been a touchdown.
Well, think about the swings in this game. Madison jumped out in front 10-0, looked very confident. Smithson Valley scored 28 unanswered. The game seemed to be over. But now Madison, back-to-back touchdowns here. 15 unanswered scored by the Mavericks. It's a 3-point game.
And you would expect an onside kick again.
Esquivel and Mata out there to handle it. It's Esquivel, and that time the hands team comes through. And that was McDonald for Smithson Valley.
Rangers better prepared for that one in position and in execution. Now with the ball at midfield, run the ball for 2 first downs, and I think we can get this one.
2 timeouts, so I'd probably say that the number is closer to 4. Probably ices it. 2 has you feeling really good. 3, you're pretty comfortable. We'll see. McCracken in the backfield.
Confusion.
And that a broken play. Mata here just trying to hold on to the football. And Madison, good play on defense to start things off. A loss of 2 there from Mata, with Stanton on the tackle for the Mavericks.
And they don't use a timeout here. Rangers do their normal substitution with tight ends and receivers.
Okay, the play clock you see is not in sync with the stadium. The next snap will come with about 2:25 to go. A flip to Bafidis to the perimeter. Bafidis gets a block. Bafidis down the sidelines, inside the 10. Clutch play by Braden Bafidis. Smithson Valley in a great spot now inside the Maverick 10-yard line. 42-yard gain.
I know that you and I both saw the block, and boy, did somebody put a licking when they got to the corner.
Look to the right of your screen. Just out of frame there was that block.
Yeah, we didn't see it. But the young man didn't get up till after Bafidis had gone into the end zone.
Bafidis did go out of bounds, so the clock stops at 2:14 to go. So apparently it was Britt Stoley, the center,
getting
downfield. Some confusion right now. Think about a personnel issue for Madison as they clean this up. Let's take you back to the block. And there's Stoley. My goodness, just put a defender on his back.
And the second one got clipped on the block and stumbled over a leg.
So Damian Mendoza was the one pancaked by Stoley. Big delay here before this next play. Might be for an injury timeout. I think that was Donovan Erdrich, the one that got shaken up for Madison.
Yeah, he's the one that went down on the trip and apparently came back on the field and then couldn't go.
So here we go. First and goal at the 6. McCracken trying to run in for his 3rd touchdown tonight. Stopped inside the 5 with the 3. And Madison still not spending one of those timeouts.
Safety Damian Mendoza put a hit on him.
95 yards in the night for McCracken. Smithson Valley again in no hurry. The next stop will come with about 1:30 on the clock. Touchdown ices the game. McCracken in for the 3rd time, and maybe this time the dagger.
Telling you what, the offensive line has just been masterful, giving him or Lance or Lane enough room to get to the 2nd level, and McCracken did the end all by himself, running through a tackler.
So Smithson Valley, after giving up the touchdown and 2-point conversion, recover Madison's onside attempts, get a massive 42-yard run from Bafidis, and McCracken 2 plays later cashes it in, and Smithson Valley, with 89 seconds to go, holds a 10-point 2-possession lead. So Travis McCracken up to 12 rushing touchdowns on the season. Limited last week against a good Steel front, but he has broken free tonight, and Smithson Valley's running game has been very productive here this evening.
How many yards does he have now?
98 on 13 carries.
So over 850 yards. He's been a workhorse.
Again, a good showing here at Ranger Stadium.
You know, this is a good crowd on both sides. They traveled well on the far side as well.
Not too far from Madison's campus. Again, these two used to be in a district with one another.
Yeah.
Could very well be the final game at Ranger Stadium this season. And there is McCracken. What a night and what a second half. 65 yards for McCracken since halftime. Squib kick. Picked up with the 25. And that was Delane on the return for the Mavericks with 1:24 to go. Madison has proven it can score quickly, but they're down 10 with only 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, that's... I think you make him take 84 seconds to score, and then that's it anyway.
Here's Mata, first play. Steps up, breaks away. Mata trying to find an angle. Keeps going. This could go down as Mata's first and only playoff start, but he has played very well.
And they've called his number to run a bunch in the second half, and a flag as well.
Pedley Barker.
Back there, it's got to be them, doesn't it? Unless we were lined up off sides.
2 teams have combined for 14 penalties here tonight.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, number 23 of the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And a 15-yard flag against Wyatt Hansen. Smithson Valley now 90 yards in penalties here tonight.
Wow.
And just like that, Madison inside the Smithson Valley 40.
Kind of hard to believe on a huddle tackle there's a late hit. You know what I'm saying?
Clock starts back up. Mata pressured, gets away, and now he doesn't. On the tackle, McLean Garrett, and Madison will call for a timeout. with an even 60 seconds to go. Again, we've seen some crazy things this year. That Judson Smithson Valley game here, wild finish. So if you're the Rangers, you feel good about a 10-point lead, but again, you probably won't finally exhale until the clock gets to 0.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. This is a Madison team that has scored points in the second half of the season, and you knew they were going to come in here and be able to put some points on the board. You just hoped you could put up more, and the Rangers have, but they're not going down.
Madison, a team with good playoff history of its own. They have been to the state semifinals as many times, 3, as they have missed the playoffs the last 20 years. Their last deep run to the state semis 8 years ago, 2013, a team that featured Vincent Taylor, now playing for the Houston Texans. Out of the timeout, Madison has just 1 left. Mata pressured again, and down he goes. Hansen, who had the personal foul penalty earlier on the drive, comes up with a hit, and the Mavericks will spin their 3rd and final timeout.
So we've in essence sacked him twice, but he's ended up +1 on yardage on it.
Talked about Madison's head coach Blaine Peterson on the opposing sidelines, a 1989 graduate of the school. His parents were both teachers there at the time. Spent 13 years on the staff before leaving for San Antonio Johnson, and was a longtime defensive coordinator under Jim Streety, who we heard from back at halftime during a great run for the program back in the mid-2000s. And now his 6 years head coach. His team has never missed the playoffs in a very tough Northeast district.
35-yard line, 51 seconds to go. I mean, if you're them, you know you got to strike and strike in a hurry so you have a chance to get the ball back.
And no timeouts. Mavericks out of them. Rangers bring it a blitz. Matza got rid of it to Brown. Out of bounds at a 1st down. Stops the clock, 47 seconds to go. And again, what a night it's been for Trey Brown.
Yep. Came in with 13 catches. He looks way too good to have 13 catches in 10 games.
7 tonight. That was not good enough for the 1st down, I beg your pardon. 4th and 2. Mata incomplete. And wide open receiver Campbell slightly underthrown. Smithson Valley will take over on downs, and those Ranger fans can in fact finally exhale.
That's where they needed a timeout. 4th and 2, come up with something. Again, Campbell in the slot is open. The throw's just not good enough for him to make the catch.
And Smithson Valley with a hard-earned 1st-round playoff win, down 10-0. Stormed back to take an 18-point lead. It got cut down to 3, and they will hold on for a 35-25 win over the Mavericks, and now await either the Bulldogs or the Dragons in the area round next week.
Should take 2 victory formation snaps.
Yep, 1 more snap to go. And Smithson Valley will have picked up its 4th straight win over the Mavericks. And this the 4th ever playoff meeting. The Rangers will have now won 3 of their games against Madison. Now those 4 games, 3 of them really tight, to include tonight. 1 more kneel down would do it. And for the 20th time in the Coach Hill era, Smithson Valley has won a 1st-round playoff game.
What a great job by both the offensive and defensive lines tonight, Brent. They have been the difference makers. The offensive line giving running backs and Derek Mata enough time to throw and running backs enough room to run. And then the defensive line just being a nuisance. They threw for a lot of yards, but that defensive line made it so they didn't throw for any more.
So Smithson Valley again down 10-0, comes back to win 35-25, and they move on, survive and advance to take on either Rad Rock or Austin Bowie next week. Exciting game tonight, Tony. Looking forward to this Ranger season moving on.
It'll be fun.
And that is going to wrap up our coverage here tonight. Again, Smithson Valley, a playoff win behind the big men up front. Offensive line, a great job of setting up running lanes for players like McCracken, a 3-touchdown night, Doug Lance and Malachi Lane, as the Rangers head off to the area round next week. We'll have more information for you on this week's Inside Rangers football show. Until then, and for our entire Rangers Network crew, I'm Brant Freeman for Tony Brubaker, saying good night from Ranger Stadium. Final score tonight from Spring Branch: Smithson Valley 35, Madison 25 in round one of the 6A Division I playoffs.